this is the demo for the Secure Shell SSH project. And for our demo, we are going to establish an SSH connection with a GitHub repository. So I have like a dummy GitHub repository that I have. And we're gonna try to connect to this one specifically. So we're gonna open up our terminal. I'm going to use Ubuntu. Alright. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and flush out any things, remnants, because I already did this demo in class, so let me go ahead and just flush out any remnants of the repository. Give me a second. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. Git remove. Alright, this is just because I've already done this demo in class, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start from scratch again. Okay, I'm gonna do this command. Alright, so now we're gonna start from fresh. We're gonna make a directory called, let's call it GitHub repo. And then we're gonna go ahead and enter that directory. And as you can see, there's nothing here. So first thing that we're gonna do when we enter to establish this connection is we're going to first, I've copied the commands here just to make it easier for me, but I will go step by step on what these different commands do. So for the SSH key gen, this is going to generate our keys for us to do our SSH connection, and we will be using the ED25519 encryption algorithm. So as we mentioned before in our presentation, so in the transport layer protocol, which is the one that we are doing now, when we are doing our TCP connection, once that's established, I'm connected to the internet and stuff, now we have to negotiate on a cryptography algorithm. So the algorithm, through the duration of our connection, I chose the ED25519. And then attached to generating my key, I'm going to use my email as an ID. So right now we are currently in the transport layer, making that initial connection. So we're going to go ahead and generate our keys. It's going to ask me which file do I want to save these keys in. Doesn't matter, the default file is fine. And then you can create a paraphrase, or you can just click enter, but I'll go ahead and create one. And then it'll tell you your identification, like your keys are saved here. So this right here is my private key, and this is my public key. And then this is just the encryption fingerprint with the algorithm that we use. So now that we've made that initial connection, we have our keys generated, like we as you can see, step 4.5 key exchange, and we didn't really do RSA. We did we did it for our digital signature. We used the ED algorithm, which uses ECC, which is the elliptic curve algorithm, encryption algorithm. But I think when it comes to key exchanging, SSA uses Diffie-Hellman or RSA, which are very good when, creating the shared keys between me and my potential server. So now we are out of the transport layer, and now we're going to enter our user authentication layer. So before we enter that layer, we are going to create a call upon our SSH agent, and that is going to be our guardian for our private key. So it's going to be the one managing our private keys. So I'm going to go ahead and create it. So this is going to be the agent's ID number, 899. And now we're going to go ahead and attach that private key to our agent so they know what they are protecting. So it's going to protect my private key as you've seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my paraphrase that I've created before. And there you go. Identity added. And now we are officially in our user authentication. So now we want to authenticate our identities. So, oh, give me 1 second. So we are going to do SSH. Okay, hold on. Now we're going to get our public key. We're going to get our public key. Before we authenticate, we want to connect our, we want to now make our local machine aware of our server that we are communicating with. So we're going to print out our public key that's been encrypted with the ED algorithm. So as you can see, it's encrypted and it attached my identity, my identification when I did the initial key generation. So that would be my email. So this is the public key attached with my ID. So we're going to go ahead, copy that. We're going to go to our GitHub, and we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go to SSH GPG. I already had this before, but I'm going to delete it just for the purpose of this demo. So we're going to delete it, and we're going to click new SSH key, and then we're going to call this our we're going to call it project 3, right? And then we're going to copy that key that we printed out in our terminal, and then we're going to add that new SSH key. We're going to ask you to log in. All right, and that key is added, project 3 with our public SSH key. So you're going to get an email telling you that you've added a new key. I'm not really going to show that email, but you're going to receive that. And now that we've added our public key into our GitHub server, now our GitHub server is able to verify whenever I want to make these connections. So now we're going to authenticate with this command, which is sh-t github.com. Basically, this is our server now that I added a key into my account, and it's gonna go and it's gonna be like, hi, salberry1, and that is my GitHub username, as you can see. Let me try to, here, my GitHub username. So that means it worked. It was able to authenticate successfully. Now we're gonna go ahead, and now we've authenticated. We're going to go back to our slides just to show you what happened. So now that we've authenticated, and the method that we used was the public key authentication. So the client uses me being the client. I have my private key, and then now that I've given out my public key to GitHub, they use that public key to verify my identity. So now that it was able to authenticate, now we are entering the connection protocol. This is where, now that our connection is established, everybody knows who everybody is. I'm going to open up a channel. And now that I have opened up that channel, I'm going to open up the channel. And I think by opening the channel, you have to make that first initial request. So I'm going to do a git clone. Now I'm going to actually communicate with my GitHub server. So we're going to try to clone our repo. I'm going to go back to that project, and we're going to copy the alias for our SSH key, and going to go ahead and print. So alright, so the channel is open now, and now that the channel was open, because usually if it's not successful you would get a failure message, but the channel is open. The server confirmed that channel, the open to the channel. Now I asked for the clone, which is going to be the data that I want to receive. Server now that the channel is open, server agrees, and it's going to send that information back, which is what happened. So the cloning was successful. So now we're going to ls to see if it was, and there it is. That is our repo. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cd to our repo, and then there is all of our projects. So now we can so for each operation that you want to do, whether if it's want to modify a file, or if it's you want to delete a file or whatever, this is going to trigger the SSH and message channel data. So let's do some changes to our web server dot python, and let's make a comment, right? Let's say, okay, finishing connecting with SSH with GitHub, right? That's a modification that we made. So now we are going to push that to our GitHub. We're going to do .commit.m. It's we're going to do new comment, right? Oh, sorry. .commit modified. So there it is, file modification. I'll let you know. And then, all right. Oh, sorry. .add. Then you do .commit. My bad. And then you're gonna do git push. And then we're gonna go back to our repo. We're gonna refresh. And there it is. I don't know why it's saying yesterday, but as you can see, our new commit, which was called new comment. And yeah, so that is how you establish a SSH connection. And thank you for your time.